Welcome to Crown Forge audiobook. If you love epic fantasy, rising kingdoms, magic, war, and immersive storytelling, subscribe and join the journey. Erickson, Elder Hyde, if I remembered correctly, hissed at him angrily. He risked his life for us despite his noble station. Erickson said, looking from one elder to another. He has experience leading both soldiers and civilians. Do we have anyone more qualified? He is not one of us. The old man spat the words out like venom. Not by birth, no, but how many of us would be alive if not for his help? Do our scriptures not clearly say, all those who do the will of God are your brothers? In light of his actions, I would be honored to call him one. I wouldn't mind following him as well. The voice, younger and deeper, came from somewhere behind me. I turned around to see a man standing by the tent's entrance. He was in his early 30s, broad-shouldered and covered in bandages, but standing in a firm stance. I recalled that he was the leader of their hunters, the only men among the Cha who should have any experience in wielding weapons. Lothar, you have no say in this matter. Hyde directed his anger at him. Ignoring him, Lothar addressed the whole assemblage, his tone respectful but unwavering. Honored elders, you were discussing our safety. While I would defer to your wisdom in most matters, none of you have any experience with military affairs. Lord Jack does, and he used it to help us escape. He almost died helping us when he didn't have to. We need as much help as we can get. The question of whether I should become their leader didn't even come to my mind. As a narcissist, I didn't suffer from imposter syndrome, but had the opposite problem. I had to constantly keep my mind pulled down to earth, or wherever this place was, lest I began believing in the tall tales it liked to weave. Still, it was undeniable that I could do a lot of good for the people of this world in the position of a leader, with all the knowledge in my head. Could I do it without becoming their leader? Perhaps, but a lot of my work would not yield quick results, and they might get impatient. So I would rather have a more entrenched position. All I needed was the council's support. I promised not to be a tyrant, since I have no army to enforce tyranny anyway. I reflexively tried to lift the mood, but quickly reined myself in, as this was a serious matter. Look, you need a different organizational structure, now that you've stepped onto the bigger stage. I saw nothing but confusion on their faces. You are no longer subjects of any nation, protected by their military. You are a stateless people, ripe for subjugation or even enslavement by anyone who can. I looked each of them in the eye to emphasize the severity of their situation. Sovereign nations, realms, exist in a state of anarchy where might makes right, and you are quite short on it. I can help you with that, but I will not take such responsibility lightly. It must be backed by authority, not just yours, but mine. I could see the gears slowly turning in their heads. I never bought into the platitude that anyone who wants power is unfit to have it. Power was a tool, nothing more. A dangerous and very addictive one, disastrous in the hands of idiots, but a tool nonetheless. What mattered was what its wielder intended to do with it. I knew what I wanted to do: run civilization in real life. Explore the world, expand my nation, exploit natural resources to enrich us, and exterminate any threats to our well-being. Elders, declare me your leader, and I promise you a very capable military within a year and more. We will create a cradle for our new nation, so strong that none shall dare attack us. Those who are foolish enough to do so will shatter against our shields. I promise to you that I will not take any major decision regarding the fate of our people without consulting with the council first. Most of them still looked unconvinced. Elder Hyde didn't seem like he would budge, even if I presented him with his deepest desire, while Erickson and the other elder were on my side. I just had to convince the indecisive ones. If you are worried about me setting up a dynasty that rules over your people, you need not worry. I don't want to establish that kind of government anyway. We will form a republic, with power shared between me and the council. I will have the final say only in times of war, and the next leader after me will be chosen by the people and the council. I will be your first, and only, supreme leader. Elder Hyde was still opposed to the idea, and I saw it on his face when he decided to threaten me to get his way. Don't think you can force me into it, Elder. I warned, my voice low and steady. Training a competent military force requires a free mind. A shackled one will give you knowledge that's flawed or riddled with failure points, and you wouldn't know if I did it. My words landed like a punch. The two undecided elders exchanged glances, seeing how one elder and the leader of their warriors were openly backing me. With another one eager to join in, they seemed to have a change of heart, but still didn't vocally support me. How about a trial period? I suggested, bowing slightly. Make me the acting supreme leader, and if you are not satisfied within, say, 3 months, we can revisit the arrangement. That should be enough time for me to develop some weapons to impress them, and for the soldiers to grow closer to me. The undecided elders quickly nodded, happy with the compromise. The crotchety Hyde was still against it, but he was voted out. This will not end well, mark my words, he told the others. Regardless, I was now the new leader of the Chaw people. The same day I declared the founding of our new nation, the Republic of Chawdom, and was proclaimed its acting supreme leader in public. While I smiled and waved to the jubilant crowd, I was busy castigating my mind inside. Did I just get myself declared supreme leader? Why couldn't I think of a better title? Good going, you stupid brain. Are you going to implement a cult of personality next? Make sure everyone has a picture of me in their non-existent homes and have the same silly haircut. Now I'll be thinking of Kim Jong-un every time someone addresses me. Thankfully, the ceremony was short, and I got too busy to ruminate on my mind's treachery. There was a lot of work to be done. The capital of Nanoen Kingdom, the cool sea breeze swept through Hohenberg Castle's vast halls, but it could not dislodge the air of anticipation that lingered in the air. A tall woman with dusky skin, wearing a flowing green dress, walked with urgent but sure steps to one of the balconies that faced the sea. The guards stood aside and opened the doors to let her in. On the other side, a short but stunningly beautiful young woman with fiery red hair was casually watching the sea. Her elaborate gown of silk only accentuated her generous curves. It would have taken Reshma's breath away if worry wasn't coiled within her like a serpent ready to strike. The princess gave her a weak smile and got up to meet her. "Did you hear the news about Amlane?" Reshma asked her. "Yes." Lara let out a long sigh. "Another realm swallowed by Zoran." "You are sure about it?" "The last of the Handelsman family's members that worked there arrived in the capital a week ago." "The merchant family?" Lara nodded in response. "If you want to sense a country's pulse, ask the merchants." "So, what is our plan?" Reshma asked, nervously clutching her hands. "Only Sindhu and Nogel stand between us and them now, and Nogel," she chuckled despite herself, "it hardly counts as a united realm. Father is working on expanding the royal army. He's also considering building an alliance." Lara reassured her and grasped her thin, long hands. "With Sindhu," Reshma finished. "Will that be enough, though? Sindhu has a lot more people than us, but..." She let the rest trail off. "But Zoran has far, far more. They can defeat Sindhu at their own game." Lara gave a short, hollow laugh. "Sindhu's human wave tactics are not going to work this time." "Bloody idiots," Reshma spat, extricating her hands in anger. "Neither of them care one whit about their own people. If Zoran takes Sindhu or Nogel, we are next, and there will be nowhere to run. What are we going to do?" she asked the princess, her voice tight with frustration. "Accumulate power. We can't match them in numbers, so we'll have to find another way." Lara squeezed Reshma's lithe hands and chuckled at the reversal of their roles. Usually it was the happy-go-lucky Reshma comforting her, but Lara understood that she was scared for her homeland. She met her confidante's gaze, rose on her tiptoes, and kissed her softly. "Fear not, dearest, we will find a way." Thanks for listening to Crown Forge audiobook. More epic fantasy worlds, powerful stories, and immersive audio adventures are on the way. Visit our Discord channel or our website if you want more.